Welcome to Midnight Story. Take a slow breath. Let us go to a miracle history story. It was never listed in the digital archive. No barcode, no evidence tag, no record of who logged it, or why. The file existed only as a physical object. A thick, gray folder. Edges worn soft by time. The kind of folder that absorbs secrets instead of revealing them. It sat on the bottom shelf of evidence room C, behind a row of sealed narcotics cases that had already been forgotten by the system. And it would have stayed there, if the building hadn't flooded. The storm came without warning. One of those storms that feels personal, as if it chooses a city and decides to punish it. Rain slammed against the police headquarters for 12 straight hours. The old drainage system failed. Water crawled through the basement like a living thing, soaking cardboard boxes, lifting dust that hadn't been disturbed in decades. By morning, evidence room C was ankle-deep in water. That's when the folder surfaced. Not floating, not washed free. It was standing upright, leaning slightly forward, as if someone had placed it there carefully, and wanted it to be seen. Officer Daniel Hargreave was the one assigned cleanup duty. 39 years old, divorced, no kids. The kind of officer who followed rules not because he believed in them, but because they were easier than asking questions. He noticed the folder because it didn't belong. Every other case file in the room was sealed in plastic. Stamped, logged. This one wasn't. No label on the tab. No case number. Just a single word written faintly in pencil on the front cover. Do not. Nothing else. Daniel should have reported it. That was procedure. Instead, he opened it. The first thing he noticed was the smell. Not mold, not damp paper, old smoke, like burned wood and extinguished candles. Inside were photographs, black and white, grainy, too personal to be official. A family standing in front of a small rural house. A birthday cake with 5 candles. A woman smiling while she didn't know she was being watched. Then the reports began. Typed, not printed, typed on a mechanical typewriter. Dates stretched back to 1979. The first report was short. Subject displays no resistance. Memory retention inconsistent. Emotional response delayed. No officer name. No badge number. No signature. Daniel felt a tightness in his chest he couldn't explain. He turned the page. The next report described an arrest that never happened. A man was taken from his home at 2:14 a.m. No warrant. No charges. No record of booking. According to the report, the neighbors never heard a sound. The man was never seen again. Daniel searched the department database. No missing person. No cold case. No death certificate. It was as if the man had never existed. But his photograph was right there. Daniel closed the folder. For 3 days, he didn't touch it. But he couldn't stop thinking about it. About the handwriting in the margins. About the way the reports talked about people like they were experiments instead of citizens. On the 4th night, long after his shift ended, Daniel returned to evidence room C. He opened the folder again. This time, he noticed something new. Every report ended with the same line. Compliance achieved. Subject released. Released. To where? The photographs that followed answered that question. The same people. Years later. Different names. Different addresses. Different lives. One woman appeared in a 1983 photograph as a waitress in Ohio. In 1991, she appeared again as a nurse in Arizona. In 2004, she appeared again, smiling at a high school graduation, listed as a parent. Same eyes. Same scar near the jaw. The file wasn't documenting crimes. It was documenting resets. Daniel felt sick. The deeper he read, the clearer it became. There was a unit operating inside the police department that didn't officially exist. No uniform. No public authority. They didn't arrest criminals. They corrected people. People who knew too much. People who saw things they weren't supposed to. People who asked the wrong questions at the wrong time. Their memories were altered. Their identities rewritten. Their lives quietly rerouted. And when memory adjustment failed, the reports stopped. One name began appearing repeatedly in the margins. Dr. Elias Moreau. Not an officer. Not a detective. A consultant. Daniel searched him. Nothing. No medical license. No academic record. The only trace of the name existed inside the file. And then Daniel found the last report. Dated just 6 months ago. Typed on modern paper. The language was different. Shorter. Nervous. Subject is resisting recall suppression. Emotional fragmentation observed. Subject insists on accessing file. Daniel's blood ran cold. The subject name was redacted. But the photograph wasn't. It was Daniel, taken from a traffic camera. 3 weeks earlier. Daniel stepped back, his heart pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. He hadn't asked questions. He hadn't investigated anything, so why was he in the file? Then he noticed the final line. Escalation approved. That night, Daniel didn't go home. He drove until sunrise, mind racing, every memory suddenly unreliable. Had he always lived in this city? Was his divorce real? Had his father actually died in that car accident, or had that memory been placed there? He began recording everything. Dates, thoughts, dreams. Within days, he noticed gaps. Hours missing. Conversations he couldn't recall having. People at work started treating him differently. Careful, measured. One morning, his supervisor casually asked if Daniel had been sleeping well. Another officer asked if he still lived alone. Even though Daniel was certain he had never mentioned that. Daniel returned to the evidence room one last time. The folder was gone. In its place sat a new one. Clean, white. On the front, written in pencil, was a single word. Hargreve. Daniel never officially disappeared. According to records, he transferred departments. Moved to a smaller town. Started fresh. According to neighbors, he was polite. Quiet. Forgetful. He sometimes stared at old photographs like they were strangers. Sometimes he woke up in the middle of the night whispering a sentence he didn't understand. Compliance achieved. The police department denied everything. The storm damage was repaired. Evidence Room C was reorganized. And somewhere deep inside the system, a unit continued its work. Silent. Unrecorded. Correcting reality. One memory at a time. Because some files aren't meant to solve crimes. They're meant to make sure the truth is never remembered. And if you're listening to this now, if something about this story feels uncomfortably familiar, there's a chance the file was opened once before, and you don't remember it. If you are new my channel, please subscribe and press bell icon. Close your eyes. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Good night.